Hi guys, and welcome to our video discussing the construction industry's rapidly growing need for improving productivity through people and processes. The key segments and topics throughout the show include myself, Christian Dadato, detailing the growing use of technology and its implications, Shamili exploring the use of prefabricated modular technologies, Rick engaging in the argument that OH&S has been compromised in the shift on becoming productivity focused, and finally Bruce will aim to highlight the importance of work-life balance within the industry. Right, so let's get straight into it. And it's technology and machinery that begins the program today. So my points revolve around the uncovered negatives surrounding the use of technology and machinery within the construction industry. In the modern day era, there has been a dramatic shift in the construction industry with six dominant forces. Number one on FMI Corp's list of factors as a result of its 10th annual survey of owners is technology application. Examples of particular types of technology within the construction industry include building information modeling or BIM, integrated project delivery or IPD, excavators, backhoe loaders, and cranes. Although there are a range of positive aspects of technology in production, the relatively unknown negative repercussions on the people and processes of a company as a result of relying on technology include significant cost increases. These costs include investment costs, maintenance costs, and running costs, loss of employee motivation as a result of lack of job security, reduced profits as maximum productivity may not represent the highest possible profit. The cost of implementing such technology can sometimes outweigh their return. The construction industry should perhaps focus on maximizing the returns of its existing resources. One of the most obvious barriers to technology is the high cost incurred and the need for substantial financial commitment for the required investment, as described by Marbub. Technology in the construction industry generally comes with a pretty hefty initial investment cost, with basic technologies such as electric circular saws starting at $229, ranging to yearly BIM subscriptions, in which costs around $450, and anywhere up to $500,000 for a top of the range excavator. As well as these high initial investment costs, technology brings with it high running costs, usually in the form of electricity or petrol, which results in an increase in the total cost of a project. A company adopting this method to increase its productivity is ultimately aiming at completing more projects within the same time frame and disregarding the cost increase. As well as the direct costs related to the technology, there are a number of indirect costs that arise, most notably the financial costs surrounding the training of employees to the use of new products. Employees cannot simply be expected to understand the operational and safety requirements surrounding their use. Greg Doikart describes it as software adoption is a process, and special attention must be given to training for that transition. As technology becomes more advanced, training and support both become necessary for full utilization of the technology. Companies must also consider the effect of a malfunction or breakdown, in which case the entire project comes to a standstill until the required repair or maintenance can be fulfilled, creating a lag period for all other tasks and ultimately the project as a whole. An example being a breakdown of an excavator on site, causing a waiting period until the machine is fixed where nothing can occur until the problem is resurrected. This is the risk taken by becoming dependent on technology. Employees definitively control productivity in any organization, particularly those in the field of construction. Rather than relying on human roles and function, the industry is now fixated with the dependency on programs such as BIM and other machinery, in which on its own cannot ultimately increase productivity. As outlined in the article titled The Competence Between Human and Machines, theoretically machines are still restrained as they can only operate as fast as humans can make them. Therefore, productivity rates still revolve around human power. This reinforces Greg Deiker's emphasis on training and highlights the fact that technology must still be operated by a capable workforce which may not be readily available. Productivity is not dependent on the technology or machinery being implemented within an organization, but instead on the motivation of employees and the ability of an employer to understand motivation. Hertzberg's conceptual motivation hygiene model describes motivation as two sets of needs of an employee. The first set of needs, known as hygiene factors, in which relate to the job role and working environment and are basic requirements of an employee to be content. These include company policies, supervision, salary, and fair working conditions. A lack of these will result in dissatisfaction within the workplace and low employee motivation. The second set of factors are known as motivator factors and relate specifically to the relationship of the the employee has with their job role and content. When these factors are present, employees are likely to be motivated and achieve. Some of these factors include recognition for work, the work itself being challenging, and responsibility. According to Herzberg, employees will be motivated to do work that they perceive to be significant. Employees drive the production process. Replacing their functions or compromising their working conditions will ultimately destabilize employees and therefore reduce productivity. Construction firms are focusing on producing a larger volume rather than maximizing their potential revenue from existing scope of production, exemplified in the rapidly increasing amount of projects started as opposed to the total completion time of a project in Ehsan Garai's research, as shown on screen. Companies have shifted their focus to reaching its maximum level of output and assuming they are going to reach its highest level of profit as a result. However, they are oblivious to the fact that they may be surrendering a portion of these profits in unnecessary increased costs as a result of the increased project completion times. As discussed earlier, the direct costs relating to technology and implementation and its use increase the project expenses and reduce the amount of profit each completed task is contributing. The increase in project expenses has a direct impact on profitability of a project, as the actual revenue generated is unchanged by the use of this machinery, because the client is still receiving the same product for the same price. The basic study of microeconomics suggests that as volume of productivity increases, so do costs. Therefore, producing more does not necessarily suggest that an organization is achieving equilibrium. This is the point in which marginal revenue equals marginal cost. Pindyck and Rubenfeld state any firm wanting to maximize profit should produce where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. In simple terms, companies should aim to operate at the point in which productivity is most efficient. By producing any more, they will increase costs at a disproportionate amount, meaning that operating above the equilibrium begins to become counterproductive. Just because a company is producing more does not mean they are maximizing their potential profits. A shift in focus to profit maximization needs to be emphasized throughout the industry. And now it's over to you, Shamili.
My argument is that technology helps to increase the productivity on construction site. For instance, the use of prefabricated modular technology increases the productivity and enhances the overall quality of construction process. According to the Rogan et al. 1999, prefabricated modular construction defined as modular or volumetric construction uses pre-engineered modular units which are transported from the factory to the site and are installed as fitted out and serviced building blocks. The modular units may be room-sized or parts of larger spaces which are combined together to form complete buildings such as residential buildings and hotels. Differences between the conventional method and modular construction method. The top diagram represents the modular method, which is materials are transported to the factory and then build the modular elements under a controlled environment and then deliver those elements to the site. Bottom diagram shows your traditional method, which is materials and labor delivered to the site and implement the construction project on site. According to the Rogan et al. 1999, the benefits associated with prefabricated modular construction method are reduced construction costs, especially when combined with economy of scale production up to a 10%, much reduced construction time on site like 50 to 60%, and increased profitability of the industry due to economy of manufacturing scale, increased site productivity up to 50%, greater certainty of completion on time and to budget, much reduced wastage in manufacture and on site, greater reliability and quality. The prefabricated construction speed is faster than on-site construction since manufacturers build elements inside a factory and weather cannot cause delays. Weather delays in site build construction can greatly increase labor costs. According to McPrint 2011, prefabrication tend to enhance the quality and accuracy of construction process. According to them, their reports, BIM reports demonstrate among other findings that the collaborative approach BIM has strong impacts on productivity and profitability. Similarly, the 2011 prefabrication and modularization and mitigation of risk in construction smart market reports reveals approaches that improve the process of construction. Furthermore, their report reveals the following major benefits of using prefabricated modular construction method. The first one is the higher quality construction up to 84% than a normal traditional method, and then the greater customer satisfaction up to 80%, and greater productivity up to 77%, and improved safety up to 77% as well.
Hi, my name is Rick. I'd like to talk about the implementations of Original issue to increase productivity. What issue is that implementation? Actually, Original is crucial for construction industry in Australia that need to be improved. The number of safety guidelines have been developed for different stakeholders in the construction industry to systematically identify the hazard and to reduce the number of deaths and eliminate from the injury and diseases. How does research find out about construction industry performance in Australia? Original regulation 2001 has been introduced for improving the construction industry's poor health safety performance in Australia. The safety in construction site is recognized as high tendency due to the risk very complex, where the uncertainty arises from various sources. The safety impact the construction productivity and also the quality. Therefore, safety on construction site is a potential issue not only to employer but also the stakeholders. What is cultural in construction industry? There's two types of cultures: working culture and safety culture. Working culture, most of the contractor have male-dominant masculine culture and toughness, and sometimes they may be independent business manager for their business, and balancing the tension between cost, protection, and safety. In safety culture, many subcontractors resist more safety rules because they do not believe on holistic regulation that will give better life for them. They are confused with safety engagement that creates safe working environment. And the training can be the answer, like providing with equipment and material handling and original knowledge on site. Why causing the problem against original on site? Just three main reasons is that there is a poor communication between trades, and there are few structural systems for original consultation, and issues on site management. One solution could be provide free training for main contractor in people skills such as communication, consultation, conflict resolution, negotiation, leadership that improve management skills with original knowledge. It's saying that having a job in good and healthy conditions increase the quality of working life and contribute to high productivity. How does originals perform and improve productivity? Self-regulation, which means that every stakeholder should aware of any performance regarding safety on site and create the safe working environment as a result. The other one is performance regulation, which is the advantages of true performance regulation includes the encouragement of genuine innovation, efficiency, and competition within the industry, and among the supplier to the industry that result in better system and cost saving. How to save design improve operational performance and productivity. A good building design creates sustainable working environment and reduce the total cost of construction that cause for unforeseen accident on construction site. Hence, occupational health safety can be considered as the important issue, and it can be covered by implementing the issue before the project commences. An employer organization have realized the direct link between safe work and productivity. In conclusion, the technology and social can be part of the implementation that help to achieve the best productivity and safety outcome. Then it suggests that to achieve the best productivity and safety outcome, organization needs to optimize both technology and social subsystem. Now I'll pass to Bruce.
Improving the quality of work-life balance of employees is a key factor that will increase the productivity in the construction industry. As we all know, the construction industry is a challenging environment in which to work with job characteristics that are linked to work-life conflict, and it is important for its future sustainability that initiatives to support employee work-life balance. Various results from respective studies suggest that during different stages in employees' life and career is ideal, and also qualitative results suggest some work-life conflict associated with working long hours and weekend work exists. Therefore, it is proposed that to attract and retain valuable employees, the construction industry must provide useful work-life benefits, reasonable working hours, as well as positive workplace culture in line with such initiatives. Due to the project-based nature of construction industry, it can be a particularly challenging environment in which to work. Job can be highly stressful with pressures such as achieving tight program deadlines, meeting the needs of multiple stakeholders, dealing with disputes, and maintaining the safety of individuals on site. In addition, long working hours and weekend workings are an integral part of many jobs in industry. Many of these jobs' characteristics are linked to work-life conflict, considered to be a lack of fit between employees and their life responsibility and the goals of their organization. Certain workplace attributes such as work-life balance initiatives are related to reduce work-life conflict. As such, it is persisted that it is important for the future of sustainability of the construction industry to undertake initiatives to support employee work-life balance. Employers reported that people in the industry are definitely more stressed than previously, especially at the management level, and they acknowledge the importance of work-life issue in industry. However, translating this concern into practice was almost negligible, and they also acknowledged a lack of skill and expertise to manage well-being issues proactively. They saw that the responsibility of a well-being rested with site manager or team leaders, but few of these people have been given any adequate training to fulfill the roles. The majority, but not all, employers saw a connection between well-being that there was a universal lack of understanding of the role of human resource strategy in this area. There was one exception where a director was able to explain a systematic approach to employees' well-being which involved results, training, and development. From the perspective of employees, different job groups reported varying levels of well-being. For example, administrators experienced a relatively good level of well-being because their job allowed them some control over their work and work hours, whereas foremen experiences very poor well-being because of high level of accountability and responsibility and a lack of choice over working hours. In some instances, employees spoke of extremely negative impact that their job had on their family, children, friends, and a social commitment, and they expressed resentment and anger. In situation where Saturday work was not mandatory, most people reported that they had to work anyway just to get through their load. There was differences in attitude between the regional and city employees, which regional employees reported a stronger sense of camaraderie and a better relationships, which allowed for some open discussion of well-being issues. What is work-life balance? Noone and Blyden state that work-life balance is defined as the ability of individuals to pursue successfully their work and non-work lives without undue pressures from or undermining the satisfactory experience of the other. Clark also stated and defined that work-life balance is a satisfaction and a good functioning at work and at home with a minimum of role conflict. The concept of work-life balance has evolved in response to changing culture where work has become more demanding of both gender and free times and has become available. In turn, increasing pressure in both domains causing endemic work-life imbalance. And because of work-life imbalance, the following conflicts occur individually and organizationally in workplaces as well as in social lives. In individual level, general dissatisfaction within the job and the family. Major problem, decrease in motivation will occur because of work-life imbalances. In organizational level, work-life imbalance affect its productivity, job satisfaction, and absenteeism. As for the benefits, improving work-life balance will reduce stress, absenteeism, and cost of health and work. On the other hand, at the same time, it will improve motivation, engagement, and most importantly, it will balancing the work life will increase overall productivity of a workforce. Hence, no matter what good technology, methods, and OHS are implemented in workplaces in order to increase their productivity, they are just supporting material measures and guidelines unless we improve them. And therefore, when we are addressing the main factor that will improve the overall productivity, it should be work-life balance.